Samurai is probably the best starting class in Elden Ring. It has a katana, decent armor, a katana, a bow, a katana, a parrying shield, and hey, did you know it has a katana? Obviously, we can beat the game like this, but how far above the other classes will it rank? Only one way to find out. Looks like a bunch of you started subscribing, so welcome aboard to the Cool Tarnished Club. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it. Your crits will do more damage. Maybe. Also, go follow me on Twitch if you want to watch this stuff live. We're doing Bloodborne versus chat soon, so come on in and help out. Now, let's play some Elden Ring. The best class to get samurai gear is the samurai. Shocker. Though even if we started as a wretch, we could get the uchi from the Death Touch Catacombs and the armor set from the Dragon Barrow Merchant. Honestly, it would still be pretty fast. Cowabunga, Limgrave, whoops, start over, because we forgot to grab the Imp Ashes as our starting gift. No matter how good this is, I'm not playing Elden Ring without summoning. Why would I? They're in the game. Anyway, get a horse, save Alex, and warp to the Dragon Barrow behind the Third Church of Marika. We'll rob a few graves for some early runes and get the Lenny Grace for later. Limgrave pickle and slash up the dragon toes. It's really fast since the katana makes them extra juicy. For more information, look up extra juicy dragon toes on your work computer. We get 40 vigor, so nothing's killing us now. Lernia time. Warp, jump on the rocks, land just fine, then 2 seconds later, die.
You suspect that you might be dead.
Shouldn't that happen when, like, you land? Figure out gravity. Come on. Second try, our knees don't randomly explode into our skull, then we grab the key and warp through the Bellum Highway. We'll go up to Altus in a second, but first I gotta get the bell bearing from the Raya Lucaria Crystal Cave. Boy, Slash is not good against these dudes with the rocky skin. Hopefully the boss down here doesn't have that. Oh no! Don't worry, if you break their stance, they're pretty much free. The extra armor does stop our stamina from recovering as fast as I'd like. It's easier to get these rocks off when we take all our clothes off. Google repeating jokes get stale quickly on your work computer to find out more. Speaking of, imagine playing Sekiro in Fort Height. Just need that Dectus 1, we can't really get anything else of value here since we can't change anything about our kit for this run. Fort Pharaoh next, just a quick in and out with 40 vigor, you don't need the Beast Torch. We also grab the Radahn Source Seal, but after riding up to Altus and getting the Bell Bearing 2 from the Seal Tunnel, we sell it for enough runes to bring the sword up to plus 12. Sure, 20 free levels in physical stats is good, but that dragon gives you 30 free levels right outside, so like, why would you take the damage penalty? These are the things I think about as I enter the abandoned cave. We're obviously here for the clean rots. While our fanged imp ashes aren't particularly sharp just yet, they can keep the Scythe Knight occupied while we focus on the Little Miss Spear. That's not actually the Mr. Men book about the clean rot knights. That one's Little Miss PTSD. They've been through some stuff. Unfortunately, we gotta put them through a little bit more. By the time we clear up the Spear Knight, Scythe Knight has used the Michelin tires of light to roll over our little imps, but she can't block. So honestly, I think she's easier than the Spear one, even if she does get sick on the floor a lot. Getting sick on the floor, not actually the best fighting strategy. That's the Golden Scarab Talisman for 20% more runes. Nerd Juice next, so we can talk about Unsheath. It's the second best part of the Uchi Katana after the Innate Bleed. It lets you rapidly unsheath your sword with the power of a charged attack and the speed of a quick attack and the timing of your choice. It kinda rips, and NPCs are particularly terrible at dodging the horizontal slash, even if traditionally the vertical slash does more damage. Patches next, his shield blocks our slash. It doesn't block bleed buildup though. We could let him live, but I hate little bald boys. Now we have the pickle recipe for more runes. Makes cheesing the Knight's Cavalry off the bridge very easy. Is that an honorable way for a samurai to fight? I don't know, but it's funny. Set up, done. Let's carve through this game.
I'm a smooth rider, baby.
Margit first. Remember when I said vertical slices do more damage?
That's what I'm talking about.
Take a few hits after some slices, but we jump attack and he falls down, so we get a meaty crit. I forgot, he has a few iframes when he stands up, and he's a little more aggressive in phase 2, but vigor is currency, and having 40 just lets you trade a little bit. Easy Margit fight. We open up the danger path and bodied Gostok, but we're taking a short detour before riding through the bullet hell. It's Gilka time. We have 2 pockets, might as well fill them with something, but whiffing makes the fight take almost a whole minute. I'm so embarrassed, but I can't hide this stuff from you. I mean, I absolutely could, but I don't, because I haven't integrity. Danger path is fine. We don't even take a single hit. Your total weight? I can go get the unsheathed Dash of War. Godrick wants to lead with a jumper. I'm good with that. I like it better than the dragging slash. Vertical sheaths. Gotta come up with a faster name for them. Uppy downy blasters. Hopping over the earthquake feels cool. Hitting him feels cooler, and breaking him down with a crit as the result of that hit is goddamn delightful. One more uppy downy blaster, and he's cutting off his own arm.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
Yeah, if he's just gonna stand there cutting off his own arm, we'll get the bleed. Phase 2, he just keeps standing there, so uppy downy blaster, break the stance, and crit for a win. Phase 2, Godrick really lives up to his lore. Pathetic. Next up, Radahn. He wasn't next in my notes, but I thought we were strong enough. Jaren gets the party started and we take an arrow while summoning. When I say that, you don't have to tell me how I can skip the arrow phase. I don't want to skip the arrow phase, I want to summon during it and run forward. We get right in front of him on the ground and stance break him out of the big suck. Hey, we actually got the crit. That's really hard to do against Radahn. Also, probably better to just slash him, so, that's my bad. Phase 2 starts and damn, Phase 2 has some hands. He just tears through the rest of the squad. And we have a big problem. Our jugs are too small. So every hit we take, we have to waste multiple flasks, and yeah, we don't have enough health. Radahn makes sure of that with the gravity suck that just kind of hits you if you're on the horse. Second death shortly after. Both are kind of to gravity, in a way. Back again, we're not getting hit by the arrows. We're too cool for that. Twice. I wish you could lock onto Leonard when Radahn decides to go bucking Bronco. Dragons have 9 different points you can lock onto, but Radahn is literally 2 models with 2 different hurt boxes, and then they're like, nah, just the big body. Makes you choose whether you want to focus on the guy attacking or the super easy baby horse you can mercy kill. Still, he gets super low by the time we get him into phase 2. Here's what I mean. We unlock the camera and kill his horse. It feels a bit mean, but considering how much he loves this little guy, we're basically dealing damage to his soul and sapping him of his will to live.
Are we the baddies?
Now we can enter Radahn's hole and fight the Mimic tier, but we have to fight the Mimic tier. We can't change our starting gear, so we can't get naked, we can't get rid of the sword, we actually have to fight the Mimic tier. Disgusting. Don't worry though, we can still summon the simps, so we can still do it casually. Righty lefty slashes are able to do some great work against an NPC. Now we can't get the Mimic tier Spirit Ashes for this run, but we can get the Black Wet Blade, which allows for occult and bleed weapons. And poison, but poison is stinky, I guess that makes sense. There's another Wet Blade in Redmane Castle, but Jaren can't stop partying.
Harsh the vibes. We're staying long, everybody.
Relatable. I'm also very cool and love partying. He leaves, we can get the Red Hot Kick Blade for Fire and Flame Ashes of War, which don't both need to be in the game. Since we can't actually change Unsheath to a different Ash of War, we have to get a different Unsheath Ash of War from Agiel Lake South. Does that make sense? Probably not, but if we don't do that, we're rocking Standard Infusion, and Standard Infusion kinda stinks, but not like the Poison Infusion. Finally found something to do with the bow, we shoot birds, that's it. Help us farm up for pickles. Putrid Avatar next with a Fire Sword. It's such an easy boss, worth so many runes, but oof, my timing was off. I got hit by everything, but then I decided, you're not gonna get hit again. Damn, why don't I do this for every fight? Could I use this power for Malenia? It actually worked. Putrid Avatar dead. We get that stance-breaking physic tier, which pairs great with the uppy downy slashes. Bloody version of the sword for Grail. It works great to hit the head, chain up bleeds, and repeat until that dragon is toasted. It's another dump truck worth of runes and a dragon heart. Not for anything in particular, but if I had a dragon heart, it would be bronzed and in the background of every stream. Did somebody say beat Raya Lucaria in 8 minutes? No? Well, I'll do it anyway. Red Wolf of Radahn takes 1, 2, 3 hits. Oh wait, 4 hits. Shoot, so close to 3 hits. Moongrim parries us, but that doesn't slow us down too much. I want to say he's the hardest NPC, but god, it feels bad saying that about a dude who keeps falling down an elevator shaft. Renella is a 1 cycle. Wait, no, what is it with the Raya Lucaria bosses and hanging on with 1 HP today? In phase 2, we unsheath and hit her 3 more times for a crit. Hey look, she's at 25% of her HP. That was fast. 2 more jump attacks get us another crit, and the stance tier does not mess around. School's out for summer. Until we need to come back for the Moon Mommy to respec our stats. We might have to do that later. Honestly, I meant to activate Godrick's Great Rune before doing Raya Lucaria, and probably would have given us enough damage to finish off those slivers that the dog and the Moon Mother had. Oh well, 5 more to every stat, and we buy some Rune Arcs in Altus on the way to the free Sentinel. This isn't free. It goes pretty poorly. I generally think physical damage types are all the same, but they're not. The Tree Sentinel has 35% slash resistance, so it doesn't matter if we go uppy downy, lefty righty, or AB start. It's just not going to deal as much damage. Oh, and he has pretty good bleed resistance too, and he can't be crit. Also, his fireballs are acting weird today. The splash damage is hitting us, so I guess I'm rolling worse. That feels off. I dodge these fireballs all the time, and I don't feel like I'm doing anything different. Honestly, I'm getting hit by everything. We eventually run out of juice. Remember, our jugs are small, but 1 more jump attack should do it. Oh, or we could whiff. Yeah, whiff is fine. Let's try again. We unsheath, get a quick R2 off, and then another unsheath, and just kind of wait. Stance breaks on horse enemies are opportunities to heal. If you don't have to heal, just wait. So you hit them in a window where stance pressure will be applied. Instead of unsheath uppy downies, we're aiming for more R1s buttons to proc bleed faster. Sure, it resists bleed, but like, slashing is doing nothing. At least bleed will give us a big chunk. Oh, and this dude is up there with Radahn and the Godskins for the amount of sheer rage they have for healing. Just let me drink my juice, you son of a bitch. I did break him down before the big slammer, but he decided the slammer was too good, so he has to do it. Something about giant-ass hammers with shockwave AoEs that are way too big is a core part of Elden Ring boss design. And fireballs. Yeah, if these fireballs were a spell option, I'd use them. And I think y'all know how I feel about spells. Tree Sentinel is dead, but we're not going to the capital. We need bigger jugs, and the Weeping Peninsula is how we get them. There's a seed, a tier, 2 tiers, 2 grave gloveworts, and another tier. There we go. Our chug jug is twice as big. Let's keep this party moving.
Hot town, summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirt and gritty.
Pop another rune arc. We're never dying again. If we die again, I'll delete the channel.
Stop saying that.
Erd Tree Avatar also has big slash resistance. I'm starting to think this Uchi might not be a perfect weapon, or at least maybe not suited for everything. Ritual Shield Talisman will be helpful. I grabbed the Sanctified Wetblade just in case we need holy damage. I don't think we're gonna need holy damage. We probably don't need this Golden Seed, but I'm a master of stealth. I played Sekiro. Ow, 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 oh god, ow. That's right, I quit Sekiro 20 minutes in because I can't parry. That's the kind of gamer I am. I've just gone back to the Grace to reset the flask, but I like to live dangerously. Godfrey shade, he can't bleed, but we just won't get hit. Unsheath, activate, jump over those spikes, get a few more hits, and ta-da, he's at half health. For some reason, the second half goes worse. I guess it can't go much better. The Ritual Shield Talisman though, wow, what a talisman, am I right? For a second there, he just kind of stands around menacingly. Come on, it's your turn. I don't want to attack until I'm punishing you. One more unsheath should kill him, and god dang it, why is everything living with a sliver today? We've been having fun lately, so let's take a break and check out the sewer. Absolutely bamboozle the omen blocking the shortcut. Get pranked, dork. And we have another use for the arrows. We can snipe the simps off the pipes so they don't chase us on the way to sewer mode. Wait, we're not going to sewer mode. Whoops. We're going to the Lindell Catacombs. It's designed to break your brain and make you think you're somewhere you've already been. Normally it doesn't get me, but yeah.
I'm really crossed up.
Get some Gravewort 8 and 9 though. That'll be very nice later. Esker has a talisman we need. It's just an NPC with 2 dogs. We're an NPC with 2 imps. Oh, and a soul. I open up with the horizontal slash and then the blood dog does 11,000 damage per second. Not really. They patched that out, but oof. We only have 1 imp left and he is not taking aggro well. But we finally get 1 dog down before getting chained with flies, dogs, and knives. Oh my. 2 dogs down. Now it's just an NPC fight. Wait, I still hate those. And he has flies, one of the most annoying spells to deal with. We're out of magic, but still get it done. For the Lord of Blood's Exaltation, boosting our damage by 20% after we're standing next to a bleed proc. As long as the boss's bodies aren't wrong. More on that later. For now, we'll test the Lord of Blood's Exaltation on Morgott. We run back, summon the simps, and get our juice on. I really need to commit to the unsheath. If you put the sword in the case and second guess it, you get hit. If you just let it rip, you're probably still getting hit, but at least you hit them too. We back up to heal and the imps make Morgott bleed. We're too far away for the Lord of Blood talisman to activate. Gotta come up with a shorter name for that, Lob. We managed to bust him down between his sword rain and get the bleed during the phase transition as he throws up on the floor. Why are so many bosses attacking us by throwing up on the floor? No imps for phase 2, but Lob has turned our damage way up. I got hit by the cursed blood slice, that's kinda awkward, and a few hits of the blender, but he tries summoning the swords when he has no health left. It's a bad idea, my guy. King is dead. Let's kill God next.
It took a long time.
Yeah, apparently God locked the door to heaven after we said we wanted to do a deicide. What a jerk. That means we have to go to the 4 Biden lands. Apparently some of you don't like these little left deicides, but are cool with jokes about dragon-shaped dildos in every video. So I'll just assume you're a fan of those, but saying that roads could be fixed is a bridge too far. A bridge that's probably going to collapse soon. It's kind of boring to narrate 20 minutes of gameplay that's just running up to the Mountaintops of the Giants, getting the Bell Bearing 3, and leveling up a sword to plus 18 before fighting the Fire Giant. Well, here we go. He's a large lad, and our katana is basically a scalpel, but if you scalpel your Achilles, it's still going to bring you down. However, remember when I said that some bosses' bodies are just wrong? Well, the Giant is one of those. The bleed we get on the ankle doesn't count towards the Lord of Blood's Exaltation. The only explanation I've seen is that the window for the Fire Giant is by the head, so despite being right next to him with a melee weapon, we're actually not close to him emotionally, I guess. Bleed is still good, and he's so slow that the combos can get going. I didn't realize he had one of his balls out and it slapped us into some pillars, but somehow we lived that. Neat. Phase 2, hand comes down and we unsheath. Drop one more on the thigh and he falls down so we can slash the head. I'd love to slash the eye, but if we accidentally critically hit, that would suck. Crits are really bad against the fire giant. What a quirky boss. He even tries to roll into an invisible wall. What a dingus. First try win. Now we can go burn down the Erd Tree. Does that get rid of the thorns in the capital? No. We have to kill the Godskins, who are, here, I guess. Not sure why. They just sort of jump you. But if you know they're gonna jump you, bring in Bernie. Bring in the imps. They don't have to live long, just long enough for us to kill one of the chunkies. Thanks to our stance tier from the Putrid Avatar, we are breaking it down in phase 1, then can bait it into the jump for phase 2. Still gets to go for the rollout, but stops and decides that stopping means it can hit me on the column. Love that. Bernie and the imps have finished off a skinny in the background, and one of the imps is still alive.
How are you not dead? I have no idea.
Another skinny comes in, then we beat down a chunky all together as well. If the Godskins gank you, just gank them back. Swag jump, get the Dragon Crest Great Shield +2 Talisman, and the Bird Run. We could fight another Tree Sentinel, but
I can just run.
Maliketh time, run in and chug that stance tier. We unsheath and get hit by a few slashes, but slash him right back to break him down. No crit though, we're in too tight and can't get a big hit. Again, just getting hit by everything. I don't know why I'm playing so sloppy. I guess I say I'm playing sloppy, we've only died 3 times. Bleed pops before phase 2, which is great because his resistance will reset. He doesn't do the front flip though, what the hell man. 2 of the regular jump plunges, they're a bit more annoying to dodge since you have to roll twice. Then we can unsheath uppy downy after he backflips to break him down and finish him off with a few more slices. I think phase 2 is more intimidating, but after you've beaten the game like 60 or 70 times, you kind of realize how open these attacks are to punishment, and phase 1 becomes more of a problem. Everything's burnt down now, so we can head to fight Gideon off near the All-Knowing. Hey, if you know everything, why did you build a mixed interfaith caster instead of just starting with an Uchi? The imps chase him down, we chase him down with horizontal slashes. He activates the counter bubble, but hey,
We don't care.
Godfrey rocks with literal rocks that we can jump over. Jumping attacks rule, and jumping over rocks to attack makes you feel like the only thing cooler than a samurai who can dunk a basketball. Every part of this fissure hits us, but somehow we live. Thank God for a decent set of armor. While he sets up phase 1.5, we bleed him for some lob boosts and get a decent amount of stance pressure before phase 2, because for whatever reason, stance pressure carries over between phases, other status effects don't. It's been explained to me, it doesn't make sense, whatever. That means when he whiffs the daddy grabby, we just uppy downy blast him into a break, and then a crit. It's an instant 2.5. Unsheath is a little greedy after the first stomp, but hey, we're doing fine. It only takes a few more slashes to finish daddy off. Wow, it looks like finishing daddy off made quite a mess too. So I've decided this is gonna be all remembrances, but hey, what if we just tried to kill Radahn in the Elden Beast anyway? How bad could that go? Well, he can't bleed. Our spirit ashes are terrible, so it's just us with slashy damage. Oh, and I just checked, his slash resistance is 35%.
I'm going to die.
Yeah, this goes pretty poorly. I can dodge stuff okay, like the cone, but when we break him down, the only way we can crit is if we stand in the explosion of the cone, and I'm not gonna do that. We hop over the stomp and get all crossed up while charging an R2. If we hit that, maybe we would have gotten a stance break, but we didn't. So all those teleports with their nice AoEs just whittle us down until we get killed by an AoE. Thank God I didn't promise to delete the channel if we died again, can you imagine? I guess we need to do a detour and make these imps stronger. They've got to be bigger later. Anyway, first, the Windham Catacombs. I hate it here. Erd Tree Burial Watchdog, we hit it until it dies. Then go up Gelmnir, which implies the existence of Mount Gelmfar and Mount Gelm wherever you are. We are safe in the hero's grave, and our gloveworts go on. Remember that 8 and 9 we grabbed in the Lindell Catacombs? Yeah, that means we're ready to get these boys up to +9. Now that we've upgraded the boys' holes, we can enter the castle's hole. Niall has some simps of his own, and they're both coming for us. That's fine, we can focus on the dual wielder, then the mono shielder, and drink our juice for Niall. It's the same stance boosting juice we are using, so when we unsheath during the transition, that puts some pressure on, letting us break him down, and look, he's halfway dead. Just 1 to 2 more and he's down again with a bloody crit. Delicious. Finally, we jump into trade, but he just whiffs, so bad trade on his part. I should probably have gone to the consecrated snowfield since that's why I fought Niall, but I wanted to see how good the imps would be against Radahn. Now that we've leveled them up, he can't bleed on his AoEs, smash them. What was I thinking? Even worse, I'm getting hit by everything. Hope we're noticing the trend today. Thankfully, Thankfully, Radahn is dumber than a bag of hammers sometimes. He tries to grab the imps. They don't work like that, my guy. We even get a crit without a cone. Maybe we can make this work. Jumping over the stomp, landing the punish on the dive. Oh yeah, another crit makes him go for the hammer slammer. We dodge every hit. It does help that the last one isn't pointed at us. Now it's all invincible teleports and lasers. Not a bad strategy, to be fair. If I could use a spell that made me invincible, moved me anywhere, and made a shockwave as I cast it, that's the only thing I would do. Finally made it to the Elden Beast. Hey, why did I have Lord of Bloods on? This boss fight doesn't have a bleed, let alone many bleeds, to necessitate the exaltation of its lords. For the beast, we jump in, and then run to the butt for 2 charge attacks. A third while it makes it rain, and another jump attack to break it down. You can also get a free charge after the crit. After that, it does some melee attacks, which is best for us. They're easy to punish with our biggest attack. After that, it does some melee attacks, which is best for us. They're easy to punish with our biggest attacks. After that, it does... Am I repeating myself? What the hell? That one breaks it down for a combo and a crit. Still no rings, and we're at 20%. This has got to be the rings. After that, it does some melee attacks, which is best for us. And finally, rings. Immediately after, Elden Stars. Yeah, that was inevitable. We try to combo it to death, but it's not enough. We have to deal with the stars. Time to use some of those flasks we've been saving. I messed up the jump on the rings, but we're still fine. After that, it does some melee attacks, which are best for us. And that leads into a big chain of running and spamming. Nebula, fire breath, and slashes. Jeepers, someone's making up for those melee attacks. That's enough for us to get in and finish it off. Didn't get a timestamp here. I'm doing all remembrances. I'm sure it'll go fine and it won't tank this run's ranking.
Probably I went downhill at such steep incline.
First up, Placidusax. It's a big boy dragon, but by the time we get Lob to activate, we should just carve through this turkey like a Thanksgiving dragon. We aim for the head, not literally, since you can't lock onto the heads for some goddamn reason, and it goes for the big nuke. But I've got the balls of a lion and a lifetime ban from the Minnesota Zoo, so we stay in for a stance break, and hey, we get it. We also get a bleed, but...
Dude, where's my...
Lord of Blood's Exaltation Boost.
Apparently, Placidusax is like the fire giant. Its body is just too big to bleed right. Big lightning and uber breath, we live through it, then deal with the TP. You might think TP is short for teleport, but it's actually short for toilet paper because this is shit. Still first try win. Speaking of shit, back to the sewer now. Let's fight the definitely real Mohg here. This is the real guy. His blood is just extra thick, so it's staying in like a Wendy's Frosty. It's fine, we just slash him up, then I noticed Unsheath stopped costing magic. I know you can run out of magic and still unsheath, and it just gets worse since this is what happened against Esker. But see, here, it's not crossed out. I think this is still the worst version, but it's weird. Okay, while writing the script, I googled it and I figured it out. The lefty-righty slash costs 10 focus, the vertical one costs 15. So we had enough magic for a lefty-righty, not an uppy-downy. Mohg died. Thank God. I hope I never have to fight him again. Nailed the falling after quitting out twice on the easiest section, but the hard parts of falling worked great. Don't call me Elvis Costello, because I can stand up for falling down, and that isn't my name. Weirdly, I fall down in the deep root depths more often, but not this time. Fiat champs are next. The first one gets 3-shot. 1, 2, 3. Rajir is also a 3-shot. 1, 2, 3. Lionel is another chunky, but this other guy? 1-shot. Mamma mia. That's the champion's dead. Maybe Fia should stop stealing her boyfriend's HP. We're basically just bouncing all around, doing stuff that I think would be fast. I figured this wouldn't be a single stream run because I had to go return some videotapes. That means lighting the torches and heading into the Regal Cinema Spirit. Slash that deer up, it's pretty free. Oh god, we got comboed. Am I gonna die to the deer? No. But it does heal, and that's fine. Just takes a bit longer. This is really just a stall fight. We're really going all over the map here, climbing ladders. What a thrill, it's Volcano Manor. Last time we died cranking the shortcut, but this week we dodged through a cutscene. My rolls are so good they defy space and time. Now, we've fought the Godskin duo, so the Godskin Noble might seem like it's free, but it's still got the rollout, the Black Flame does percentage-based damage, and oh, it's dead, never mind. Alright, now we can go to the consecrated snowfield, roughly an hour after we got the first medallion. No need to kill the old man unless you're in a hurry because he talks a lot. We'll take on the putrid avatar, and that was really fast. Actually a little too fast. We don't get the tears we're supposed to.
Where are you?
Finally found them, halfway up the hill, obviously. Anastia invades us. I was trying to avoid her, but we're fine. Remember, the Uchi is really good for NPC fights. We're not going to lose to any of those anytime soon.
5 minutes later.
You know, I recently did a run with 2 bloody daggers and really felt the nerf on status buildup while power stanced. I don't think that applied to NPCs for some reason. Come back and we get through to Mohg Palace, the Simps defend us while we buy our rune arcs and head into Mohg. Without the Mohg tier from Eleanor. Who needs it? We've got the combo boosting tier from the Putrid Avatar and the stance breaking tier. Uppy, downy, blast, and avoid the claws to break him down with a quick bleed for some lob. Unfortunately, he is the lob, so he lobs when we lob and is gonna hit us harder too. I accidentally got a crit when I wanted a combo, but he's still really low for phase 2. Low enough that we can just break him down one more time and get the kill. If you don't like Mohg phase 2, just don't let him have one. Kill him. Back at it again, and we're climbing up Carrier Manor. At this point, Loretta doesn't even get to move. She's dead before she can do anything. But she's a ghost, so I guess she was dead before we started. Does killing ghosts make them alive? Say hi to Ronnie and the gang, get her a knife, get the statue for the study hall, flip it, run through it, grab the curse mark of death, and hug Thea for 2 minutes. Might not sound that long, but next time you hug a loved one, try and hold it for 2 minutes straight. Even if you're at a funeral, they'll probably be like, yeah, that's enough, that's enough. Finally, we can go into battle Fortisax, but at least after all those side quests, we get a fun boss, right?
Wrong!
Yeah, I don't love doing all remembrances. The quests are long, and the bosses are this. Noodlehead is the best thing to hit, but it wiggles all around. You can't lock onto the toes, but you can lock onto the body. The body that you can't hit from the ground. Great idea. We finally get a second hit after getting staggered through multiple Aftershock AoEs on all of its melee attacks, but then we're locked against a wall and the camera shifts to the body, so we whiff the shot on the head again. This is another boss that does a big attack, like the land sex glaive, and lands so far away, you don't get to punish them. Love that. Finally, get a bleed and just another hit to end this slog. The next boss isn't a slog, it's the Godskin Duo in the Spirit Collar Cave. They're like weaker versions, the Godskin Duo, but one at a time and they can't bleed. At this point though, we're fine going 3v1 with the imps, carves them up pretty good. Back to slogging, it's Rykard. We can't pick up the Serpent Hunter because I don't think that's part of the samurai starting gear. Instead, we have to get in that sloppy magma and hack away. Thanks to the Godskin Swaddling Cloth, which we got for beating Godskin Duo, we're able to heal off as we build a combo, but it is slow and works best in phase 1 because in phase 2, Rykard's body looks like it gets bigger, but it doesn't actually get bigger. He's just a bunch of, I don't know, like cysts and blisters that don't take damage. I guess it could be scar tissue since he's just idling in liquid hot magma. First time it doesn't work. Second time it does. We don't do anything differently. It just works that time. In Cell Rivermain through the Lake of Rot, and 10 minutes later we can fight Astel. God, I love running. Probably why I love the Astel fight so much. It really lets your Tarnished get their cardio in as they run around trying to keep up with the weird space bug. Hitting the face is good. Hitting the rest of it works too. Don't die. In Ordina, we light some torches, then ba-boom, we're in the Halig Tree. Almost got bonked off the ledge by some Crystallians, but we make it to the swag jump and swag that jump. Loretta is alive, I guess. If you kill a ghost, they do come back to life. We bring in the imps. She brings in the laser swords, laser bows. Hey, laser!
I hardly know her.
We can't punish the stance break because there are so many swords, but she's a horse gal, so we kinda couldn't punish her anyway. The super bow isn't harder to dodge than the normal bow since the arrows hit at the same time. I think it does more damage, but to be honest, I'm not sure I've been hit by it before. Her super slash is also worse than the slash that Ghost Loretta has. The first hit of the one when she's a ghost chains you into the second hit. The one she uses when she's made of meat is too slow to follow up after the first part, so you can roll out. And she bleeds now. Poor girl got nerfed. So, at 6 hours, we killed 38 bosses and died 6 times. That's all remembrance. Oh, what? That's, there's one more? And we died on the way to it? Well, that's fine. Still sub 10 deaths, and currently the best boss to death ratio we've ever had. Samurai rules, and nothing's gonna ruin that. First attempt goes pretty smooth. We live a ducky dance, get to phase 2 so we can die to a different, more badder ducky dance. Second attempt back to phase 2 already, and we died. But the third time, we make it back to phase 2 to die again. And one more time. Sometimes we just quit out though. Look, The issue with the Ducky Dance isn't my reaction time. I can see her jump up, open the menu, tab over, and quit out before she starts swinging. The problem is how long her hitboxes are out for each little sphere of thing, how well she tracks you, and how much damage each slash does in each sphere thing. But yeah, sometimes we don't make the quit out though. Here's the thing, our stats aren't ideal. For a bit there, I was investing endurance trying to get to light load, not realizing that with the gear and our talisman, we need something like 45 endurance to get there, which is excessive. So let's respec for some more dexterity. Minimum strength, and that should turn our damage up if we use a bleed infusion. It'll give us somewhere around a 115 bleed proc per hit instead of 75. The dex scaling is also better than it is when we're doing occult scaling. Hopefully that makes up for the loss of raw damage from occult just having better scaling on arcane. Oh, and we're gonna go kill Malenia's daughter. That'll teach her to try and protect her brother.
Are we the baddies?
O'Neill gets fucking blended, just roasted, absolutely toasted. Now Gowry, Horsery, Millicent, Finlay Jr., Millicent, Godskin Apostle, and we kill Millicent here. Cool. That just added a nice 17 minutes to the run, with 2 bosses and no deaths. Maybe I should stall out more. Okay, Finlay the Third for the winged sword insignia, which should stack with the Millicent prosthesis and the Thorny Tear for some huge damage with the combo. Oh, also with the Lord of Blood's Exaltation. It's a nice 70% damage boost when we get it all maxed out. And we finally get the last Grave Glovewort to max out the imps in the little rot pond by the drainage channel. This really doesn't work. There's a few major problems here. First, our sword is short. The Uchi is an awesome weapon, don't get me wrong. The hand of Malenia is probably twice as long, and Malenia keeps moving. If we want to get in on her, we need to get through a big old butter knife. Prisoner had a laser sword we could spam while running away. Uchi is not very large. In my experience, the best weapons against Malenia are giant ass swords and hammers that just sort of don't let her move through chunky stance pressure and chunky damage with each hit. Unsheath has good stance pressure, but the raw damage of the Uchi is pretty small. Bleed chunks are nice, but eventually her resistance just gets too high. Oh, that's another thing. Her DPS is a huge problem, sure, but it's really how tanky she is. Every time she hits, she heals, so she's healing a lot. With her massive damage, we're not gonna win a war of attrition. She also heals when she hits the imps, so don't bring the imps. They're more help than harm, trust me. They break her out of combos, keep pressure up while we need to back off and keep that bleed proccing. Overall, it is a boon, but it's not a boon without some banes. I know, let me solo her. Uses an Uchi against Malenia, but they're also using Rivers of Blood. They stack Frostbite that repeats infinitely because the Rivers of Blood has innate fire damage, resetting the Frostbite proc, and the bleed procs between the two as well. We can't hit her with an Icy Hot combo because we only have one weapon. Finally, crits don't work with Lord of Blood's Exaltation. I don't know why. The critical hit attack with your sword still has bleed, but if that bleed activates during a critical hit, you don't get the damage boost. I don't know why. I think it's just broken. All of that mixes together to make this not great. After running out of rune arcs, I decided to respec for more raw damage with a fire infusion. She has 0% fire resistance as long as she's not on the water, but even then it's only 10%, which is the same as her slash resistance. Better raw damage should help because, hey, just noticed this while checking her resistances, the status buildup doesn't reset for phase 2 against Malenia. It resets between Godfrey and Horaloo, between the Beast Clergyman and Maliketh, between Godrick and, well, later Godrick, but for some reason for Malenia, they're like, no, this is really the same health bar. Great. At least this means I was right to switch to fire. It goes okay, but, we're still gonna die a lot. Okay, I'm a scrub. I've got a parrying shield. Just learn to parry against Malenia, who never attacks just once, so, if you whiff the parry, not only do you take some damage, because for some reason, if you don't do a perfect parry, they just punish you with damage. But she's also going to follow up with another hit that hits you harder and heals her. And parries don't open up for a crit right away. It takes 3 or 4-ish carries to do it. And some of her attacks can't be parried. And I'm not a parry guy, so I don't know which ones can't be parried. Yeah, no, I tried it twice. It's just not crapping it, okay? Another Ducky Dance. I guess I'll quit out. Oh, never mind. It's for the imp. This one was for me, though. Remember when we were sub 10 deaths? Yeah, it was pretty cool. She just kind of ruins that and swaps our death to boss ratio to negative. Not like, super negative, but it's still a bummer considering how solid this run was going. Also, we've been here for more than 2 hours. That's the Tree Sentinel to Radahn against one boss. Not as long in the video, because, just saying I died 54 times isn't all that interesting. But, yeah. This stinks. Anyway, here's the winning run. Bring in those imps and lead off with a jump attack. And after an unsheathed, she's back to full health. Oh god, that's bad. Thankfully, she goes for the very easy to dodge uppercut. It's a sword attack, but Fexter Life calls it an uppercut. I guess she does cut in a decidedly upward way. Big punish with some charge attacks and a crit. Also a free charge attack when she stands up. We're far enough away to avoid the ducky dance, well, most of it anyway. Imps are poising her out of combos and keeping the stance pressure up. See what I mean? They're more helpful than they are harmful. And a charge attack when she stands up, so the stance pressure continues into phase 2. The onion drops, and I wait it out. Wow, what a concept. I was running in early, a lot of these attempts to try and get combos going and boost the damage, even though she has like 50% extra damage resistance after the onion drops for some reason, but it just got us rotted and killed us. This time, it works great. We're patient. We bleed her, we break her down, then crit her, already onto onion 2. Just wait for it, and go. Amazing patience. But really, it's just luck. She goes for the whirlwind slam that's easy to dodge and punish, so we win. At 8 hours and 6 minutes, we killed 43 bosses and died 54 times. But yeah, that's deceptive because it's just Malenia. If you want to run through the game with the samurai starting gear, it's great. And then Malenia will kick your ass, which is, you know, kind of her whole thing. Bleed is good. Unsheath is good. Basically, katanas are good, and the bow and the wooden shield are great because you can take them off and lighten your load. To watch me struggle live, follow me on Twitch. We're finding new ways to play Elden Ring all the time, and we're doing chat versus Bloodborne very, very soon. We might actually be doing it by the time this video goes up. Join the Patreon if you want to support the channel. It's the best place to do that, and there's even a few extra videos going up there, like full-ass episodes. Might be a little niche on topics, but full episodes. And subscribe here for videos that aren't super niche.